Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Soulful Psychics channel. Today, Nicole and I are going to share with you each two of our favorite books and why we love them. So, Nicole's going to go first with her book.
Woohoo! All right, so the first book I have today, guys, is called Divine Guidance. And this is what the copy I have looks like, but I think there's a couple reprints of it. This book is by Doreen Virtue, and I really love this book because it was one of the very first psychic books I ever read. I felt like this book lit a fire within me. It helped me realize and see that there were, excuse me, other people on the same path and shared the same soul interests and same heart feelings that I had. And in the book, she talks a lot about different stories from clients that she's had. And I felt, I don't know, I just felt connected to the stories. I felt connected to the book, and it really started me on my path. So the book primarily focuses on divine communication with the other side, which means you can communicate with archangels, ascended masters, and guardian angels. Now, in the book, she discusses 4 ways you can connect with them, and this is through seeing, feeling, hearing, and knowing. These are called the clairs, and Nikki and I have a video you guys can watch if you're curious about the clairs to see what they're all about. So, right, she talks about how you can amplify your clairs, and she goes into detail with each one, which I really found fascinating. She has a chapter or 2 on each clair and how you can open them. She also talks about how you need to be open to receiving this guidance. And so I feel like anybody can receive insight from the spirit world, but it's important to be open to the notion that they're actually going to come in and communicate with you. She also talks about, which I found to be really interesting because she put charts in the book, about how to understand if it's loving guidance coming from a higher realm or if it's guidance coming from a low vibrational being and they are just kind of messing with you or trying to get your attention. So that's it for my first book, and Nikki's going to start us out with book number 2.
That sounds like a great book. I would
It
love to read that one. I'll put it on my list.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first book for you today is called You Are the Answer: Discovering and Fulfilling Your Soul's Purpose. And this is by Michael J. Tamura. He's actually one of my teachers. And the foreword is by James Von Prague, so you probably are familiar with that name. And Michael is, he's truly a master. He's died like 4 or 5 times and come back. So he has a lot of wisdom and insight about spirituality and what goes on over there and how to live a life here on this planet. Um, he's a world-renowned master spiritual teacher, healer, and clairvoyant. He ran the BPI, Berkeley Psychic Institute, for a long time. So if you're a spiritual seeker, you're on the spiritual path, you're seeking spiritual growth, this is the book for you. This really is my go-to book for all things spiritual development wise, for growth and awareness. This book will shift you into spiritual high gear, so to speak. I really love this book because Michael, he just has a way of relating things and eloquently explaining spiritual concepts in an easy to understand manner. He shares how to see. Well, first, he introduces you to yourself as spirit. He also shares how to see and recognize yourself as spirit. And he teaches you how to live your life as the spirit that you are. He shares a lot of his personal experiences in this book, which are fascinating. And in the back of the book, he has some really simple exercises for developing your awareness and your intuition. So this book is in my library. It's well worn, and I reference it often. This is the kind of book where I guess all books are like that, but this book especially, if you need a little inspiration or insight, you can just open it randomly to any page and it's going to be exactly what you need at the moment.
Right.
So you are the answer.
um, I'm picking up that in that book, it's like there are so many deep things even within each sentence that he wrote. Like
As
it's very intense and in
It's
depth.
very
And
intense, it's very deep, and one you could take a long time to read. And
mm,
even each time I pick it up and read something that I've underlined, it's like I'm reading it for the first time with
right,
whole new eyes and a whole new meaning. So it's quite spectacular.
right. I love it. Nikki got me that book for my birthday, so
Yeah.
I need to read it as well. Okay, so the next book that I have for you guys is called Intuitive Studies, and this is by Richard Gordon, and it says a complete course in mediumship. So the main focus of this book is enhancing your mediumship abilities, which means connecting to those who have crossed over, loved ones who have passed. He wrote this book as if he is your personal teacher and you're going on a journey to learn about your mediumship abilities with him. He also talks about a young man named Stephen in this book. And Stephen, which I find to be fascinating, is on this personal growth experience with Richard. And he talks about all the exercises that he has with him firsthand. And so you kind of get a feeling for his nerves and how he felt about being in front of people and the insights that he was picking up. So I could relate to that in a very, I guess, intense and in depth way. The next thing is that the exercises that he has in this book are incredible. And he really encourages people to be in a mediumship circle. Now, even though I live in Oklahoma right now, someday I'll be out of the state and I'll be able to be in a really great mediumship circle. But I do think it's really important to be involved with other like minded individuals so you can learn how to feel spirit and enhance your energy and all that other fun stuff you get to do with other people who have the same interests as you. So, in this book, he discusses healing, being self aware, working in development circles, trance work, readings, and connecting with people you find fascinating. Now, my favorite thing about this book is that he talks about calling cards. I think having a calling card is really important. Nikki and I talked about it a little bit when we were on vacation together. But having a calling card is like building a personal relationship with your guides, and they are really going to be the helper and assisting you when you're connecting with other people who have crossed over. And so he has, I think, a full chapter on calling cards, and I use my calling card in every psychic session that I have with different spirits and ascended masters and archangels. So I think that is a really important part of the book. And the last thing is his main spirit guide is called Master Chi, and in each chapter he gives out like a little bit of little words of advice at the beginning of each one, and I'm going to read my favorite one to you guys. This is from chapter 11. Many people are drawn to the spiritual path in search of phenomena and mystical wonders. Yet the greatest phenomenon you can experience on the spiritual path is love. And I agree with this. I think that if we all were in the vibration of love, we would easily be able to access the psychic guidance that we are curious about and would like to receive. So that's it for my intuitive studies.
Love it. That sounds great. And
It's good.
yes, I cannot say that I use a calling card, so I love that concept. I'll have to practice
Right.
that.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you, Nicole. All right. So, my second book for you today is called You Are Psychic. Yay! I know, The Art of Clairvoyant Reading and Healing. And this is by Deborah Lynn Katz. And you probably heard us talk about her before in one of our other videos. So she's a professional clairvoyant. She's a teacher, a psychic reader, and a healer, and she is the founder and teacher at the International School of Clairvoyance, where Nicole and I both studied, and personally with Deborah Lynn Katz. So this is, I love this book. This is
Yes.
my go-to book for clairvoyance specifically. There are, as you probably have seen on Amazon or if you've searched around, a gajillion books on psychic development. But there are very few. I think hers are the only one. She has three of them. This is the first one of her three that focus solely on clairvoyance, and that's it.
Mm.
Um, so I love this book because it takes you through a progression of tools and techniques from basic clairvoyant techniques through advanced um, clairvoyant techniques. And I think I might have mentioned that Deborah got her training originally started at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. So it all flows very nicely with different teachers I've studied with and rings true with what I've learned. Um, the exercises are really practical and useful, and there are things that you can use in your everyday life to really help you feel better, be more empowered, and grow spiritually as well. She shares a lot of her personal stories, which I absolutely love. And she's very down to earth and honest and open and shares, her of how unsure, how everybody's unsure, they think they're making all this up, and just her little trials and tribulations of um, explaining to people what she does and all that good stuff. So it's a really great book. um, I've had a fair amount of clairvoyant training so far, and I still go back to this book to reference or to get inspired or to get clarification or to practice something on my own again. So something, if clairvoyance is an interest of yours, this is definitely a must-have in your library.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all we have for today.
Yes, awesome. And like Nikki said, Deborah was our teacher for our International School of Clairvoyance, and that book is incredible, as well as her other ones. Um, don't miss out on that. So, anyways, thanks guys for watching. We really appreciate it. If you're interested in having a private psychic session with either of us, you can find the link to our website at the end of this video. Or if you want a team reading with both of us, that means both of us will be on the phone with you at the same time. You can find that on our website as well under Soulful Psychics. So thank you so much for watching with us. Have a great day, everybody, and take care. Bye.
Bye.